There's a leaf you can chew that will switch off your ability to taste sugar. Put sugar on your tongue a minute later, and it's like licking sand. Nothing. No sweetness at all. In India, people have used that leaf for diabetes for over 2,000 years. And here's the part that surprised me. When modern labs went looking for why it works, the answer actually held up. That leaf is on this list. So are 9 other remedies that have been sitting in kitchens and apothecaries for centuries, long before anyone could measure blood sugar. But I'm going to make you a promise right now, and it's the whole reason you should keep watching. I'm not going to sell you a miracle. Some of these remedies have real, repeatable science behind them. A couple are weaker than the legends claim. I'll tell you which is which and exactly how each one works, in plain language. Because here's the truth, most of these videos skip. Not one of these is a cure. Not one replaces your medication. If you take insulin, you keep taking insulin. Type 1 diabetes is not something a spice can manage. Your body has stopped making insulin, and food cannot put it back. Think of everything on this list as a helper, not a hero. Some of these lower blood sugar genuinely well, which means if you stack them on top of your medication without telling your doctor, you can drop too low. That's dangerous. So, the real rule is simple. These work best alongside treatment, with your doctor in the loop. Get that right, and some of them earn their reputation. Let's start. Number 10. Bitter melon. In India, it's Karela, that knobbly green vegetable kids run away from at dinner. Here's why it works. Bitter melon contains a compound called polypeptide P. Scientists nicknamed it plant insulin because its structure mimics the real thing your pancreas makes. It also flips a kind of master switch inside your cells called AMPK. When that switch turns on, your cells pull more glucose out of the blood and burn it for energy. Exercise flips the same switch. So does the diabetes drug metformin. So, why is Karela only number 10? Because the human studies are a mixed bag. Some show a clear drop in fasting sugar, others show almost nothing. The vegetable is real, the effect is modest, and the hype runs ahead of the data. Still, it's a genuine vegetable doing genuine chemistry. And that brings us to a remedy that does something stranger than lowering sugar. It stops you from tasting it. Number 9. Gymnema, that sugar-destroying leaf from the opening. In Ayurveda, it's called gurmar, which literally translates to sugar killer. Chew it, and special compounds called gymnemic acids latch onto the sweet taste receptors on your tongue, blocking them for up to an hour. Sugar tastes like nothing. But the clever part happens lower down. Those same compounds fit into receptors in your gut wall, the doorways sugar normally walks through to enter your blood. Gymnema parks itself in the doorway, so less sugar gets absorbed from your meal. And there's a third effect that researchers are still chasing. Some studies suggest it nudges the pancreas to release more insulin, and might even help repair the cells that make it. Small trials in India have shown real drops in fasting and after-meal blood sugar. The catch? The studies are small. Promising, not proven, which is a phrase you'll hear me use a lot today because honesty is the point. Number 8. Cinnamon, the one spice almost everyone has heard helps blood sugar. So does it? Mostly yes, a little. Cinnamon seems to make your cells listen to insulin more closely, and it slows how fast your stomach empties, so sugar trickles into your blood instead of flooding in. When researchers pooled the trials together, cinnamon nudged long-term blood sugar down by a small but real amount. Not dramatic. Helpful at the edges. But here's something the labels won't warn you about. Most cheap supermarket cinnamon is the cassia type, and cassia contains a compound called coumarin that, in large daily doses, can stress your liver. The fix is easy. Use Ceylon cinnamon, true cinnamon, which has almost none of it. Same warm flavor, far safer for everyday use. Number 7. Jamun, the Indian black plum that stains your tongue purple in summer. I'm putting jamun here, and being upfront, because this is where legend outpaces the lab. People have used jamun seeds against diabetes for over a century, and the animal studies look encouraging. The idea is that compounds in the seed slow the breakdown of starch into sugar, so your meal releases glucose more gently. And the fruit itself is low on the sugar spike scale, so it's a smart fruit choice for anyone watching their levels. But strong human trials, thin on the ground. So, enjoy jamun as a genuinely good seasonal fruit, not as medicine you can lean on, which is the opposite of our next one, because number 6 has some of the most striking research on this entire list. Number 6, amla, the Indian gooseberry, small, sour, and packed with more vitamin C than an orange. Diabetes does quiet, ongoing damage through something called oxidative stress. Think of it as rust slowly forming inside your blood vessels. Amla is one of the most powerful antioxidants in the kitchen, so it fights that rust directly. But it does something for blood sugar too. In one small study, people with diabetes who took amla powder daily saw real improvements in their blood sugar control, in some measures rivaling a standard medication. I want to be careful there. That was a small study, and small studies can flatter a remedy, but it's enough to take amla seriously, and the antioxidant benefits alone make it worth a place in your day. A spoon of amla powder in water, or a fresh berry if you can stand the sourness. Number 5, fenugreek, the little golden seeds, methi, sitting in almost every Indian spice box. This one has a beautifully simple mechanism. Fenugreek seeds are loaded with a special soluble fiber. Drop them in water overnight and you'll see it. The water turns thick and slippery. That same gel forms in your gut. It wraps around your food and slows digestion to a crawl, so the sugar from your meal seeps into your blood gradually instead of spiking. A traffic calming measure for glucose. It also carries a compound that seems to coax your pancreas into releasing more insulin right when a meal needs it. The trials are genuinely good here. Soaked seeds, or the powder taken before meals, have lowered fasting sugar and long-term sugar in study after study. Cheap, ancient, and it actually works. One of the strongest in this list. Number 4, black seed, kalonji, those tiny black specks on your naan. Don't let the size fool you. Kalonji carries a powerhouse compound called thymoquinone, and when researchers gathered the trials together, the results were consistent and real. Black seed lowered fasting blood sugar and pulled down long-term blood sugar by a meaningful amount. And it tidied up cholesterol at the same time, which matters because diabetes and heart trouble travel together. The oil seems to work better than the raw powder, a small daily dose, kitchen simple, with some of the more reliable numbers on this entire list. If fenugreek surprised you, kalonji should too. Number 3, apple cider vinegar, the one remedy here that isn't a spice or a plant. It's just sour liquid. And it's older than you'd think. Vinegar has been used as medicine since the time of Hippocrates. The active ingredient is acetic acid, and it works in 2 ways. It slows your stomach from emptying, and it gets in the way of the enzymes that chop starch into sugar. The result is striking and fast. Take a tablespoon or 2 in a big glass of water just before a carb-heavy meal, and you measurably blunt the blood sugar spike that follows. Pooled trials confirm it across healthy people and diabetics alike. 2 warnings because they matter. Always dilute it. Neat vinegar can strip the enamel off your teeth, and if you're on blood sugar medication, that spike blunting effect can stack. So, loop in your doctor. Number 2, berberine. You probably haven't heard of this one. You're about to understand why some people call it nature's metformin. Berberine is a bright yellow compound pulled from plants like barberry, and the root Ayurveda calls Daruharidra. And it is, without exaggeration, the heavyweight of this list. Remember that master switch, AMPK, the one exercise and metformin flip? Berberine flips it hard. Your cells start pulling sugar out of the blood and burning it, your liver eases off producing new glucose, and your insulin starts working better. The evidence is the real story. Across dozens of trials with thousands of patients, berberine produced reductions in long-term blood sugar in the same league as standard diabetes drugs. And it improved cholesterol on top. That power is exactly why it needs respect. Berberine interacts with a long list of medications and is not for pregnancy. And number 1, turmeric, haldi, the golden spice that's been in Indian cooking and Indian medicine for thousands of years. Its active compound, curcumin, is a fierce anti-inflammatory. And diabetes, underneath it all, is a disease driven by low-grade inflammation. But here's the result that earns turmeric the top spot. A rigorous trial followed people with pre-diabetes, the warning stage, where you can still turn back, for 9 months. One group took curcumin, the other took a dummy pill. In the placebo group, about 16 in 100 crossed the line into full diabetes. In the curcumin group, the number who developed diabetes was 0, and their insulin-producing cells looked healthier at the end than at the start. Now, curcumin is famously hard for your body to absorb, but a pinch of black pepper multiplies how much you take in, which is exactly why your grandmother's haldi always met a grind of pepper. The old recipe was right for a reason no one could explain until now. So there's your 10. And if you're reaching for a notebook, here's the thing I most want you to take away. Notice what almost every one of these actually does. Slow sugars entry, help insulin work. Flip that AMPK switch. Calm inflammation. None of them invented a new trick. They're all gentle nudges in the same direction your body already wants to go, which points at the oldest medicine of all, older than any of these. A walk after dinner flips the same switch berberine does. A meal built around fiber does what fenugreek does, all by itself. These remedies aren't magic. They're echoes of the basics. So use them the smart way. Pick 1 or 2, not all 10. Give it weeks, not days. Keep checking your numbers, and tell your doctor, especially if you're on medication, because the strong ones can push your sugar too low when they team up with your pills. Do that, and these aren't old wives' tales. They're old wisdom that happened to be right. The cure was never hiding in a single leaf. It was hiding in the habit of paying attention to what you eat, how you move, and what your body is quietly telling you every single day. Your kitchen, it turns out, was a pharmacy the whole time. You just needed to know which shelf to look on.